Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to start with a 30-minute silent sitting, and then there'll be opportunity to explore anything that arises for you. So make yourself comfortable. And just begin to notice the gentle movement of your breath. Allowing your system to settle down, feeling everything opening and relaxing. Bring all your attention fully present into this moment. And allow the mind to relax. So as your attention opens, there's a recognition of this vast, infinite awareness, this space, this presence that's here right now. And the thoughts are arising and passing through this open space. So don't engage with the content of your thoughts, but allow your attention to relax. So we're not trying to achieve anything, we're not trying to become anything. Just a letting go and fully opening to the experience of this moment right now. Also noticing any sensations that are present in the body, any tightness or contraction. And very gently opening up to feel and include those sensations. If you notice at any point that your mind catches your attention and you find yourself engaging with thoughts, the moment that you notice that happens, just allow your attention to come back present into this moment. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And just allowing perceiving to happen. Continue to notice the gentle movement of the breath. Perception of sounds. Perception of sensations passing through the body. Perception of thoughts passing through this open space. Just coming and going all by themselves. And perception of images that the eyes see. And all of this perceiving is happening by itself. There's nothing we need to do to try to control or direct any of it. So we can just let go and simply be. And in doing so, we open to a deep peace that's here. A peace that's beyond the surface level of reality. We can open to that with a simple shift in the focus of our attention when we disengage with that surface, disengage from that surface reality. So we allow the situation of our life just to be as it is. Let go of any ideas that it should or needs to be different in any way. That we need to change, we need to heal anything, fix anything, become anything more than what is here right now. So without the mental interpretation of what is perceived, without that added on narrative created by the mind, that story, the deep peace that we long for and seek is already here. So it's not something that we need to find or get by doing something. It's discovered or recognized or experienced by letting go of all the effort. And that peace is not an experience. It's not something that is separate from you or I. It's what we are. It's consciousness in its purest form. So just have a look at your experience of this moment and see if it's possible to have any problems without believing any story or thought. All problems are mind generated, and the mind tells us a story that says that this moment should be different than it is, or a future moment is going to be better than this one. When we're focusing on the content of the mind, there's a constant sense of unease, anxiousness, fear. Incompleteness. And that drives us to seek for something more, to try to find something better than this dissatisfaction that we're experiencing right now. The only place that the lasting sense of wholeness and completeness and deep peace can be known is in this present moment right now, when we transcend those stories and thoughts, we transcend the mind and simply be. And we might discover that there's discomfort somewhere in the physical body or unpleasant sensations in the energy body. But those two can be included and allowed by very gently opening to feeling the sensations, not engaging with that mental story that this is wrong, this shouldn't be here. So all these mental interpretations of our life or what's happening right now act like filters that block our clear seeing. And when we remove these filters, there's simply perception happening, pure being. No thought, stillness, and deep peace. Oneness with what's here right now. So the invitation is for us to transcend the story of life, transcend mental suffering, and open to this deeper reality. Through presence and through very gently accepting whatever presents itself right now. If there's anything you would like to explore connected to this, then you can raise your digital hand and we'll bring you up on screen. If you're on your cell phone or mobile device, if you touch the screen at the bottom, you'll see 3 little dots. And if you press those dots, there's an option to raise digital hand. You just press that. if you're on a laptop or a PC computer, I think if you just move your mouse down to the bottom of the screen, you'll see the option somewhere down there. When you come up on screen, don't be in too much of a rush to start talking. Take a few moments just to be, to connect, to feel each other. There's no rush. Take your time, and we'll enjoy deepening into presence together. Okay?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
Nice to see you again. And
You too.
thanks for these online sessions. They're pretty helpful and connecting. And yeah, it's so nice. I have a question that I've written down actually. I'm having an issue of repetitive waves of anger for the same reason. I have found in myself that the ideas of becoming, progressing, and attaining are the obstacles to the only freedom of now, that all paths which by definition imply future are traps. So I get angry with people that advocate against this understanding. For example, with my former yoga teacher that confused me for years, or with most yogis in general, or even recently with my Indian master. At the same time, although I feel like I have a good understanding of spirituality, still my ego is not dead. And sometimes it seems stupid to debate masters on what they say or how they approach this. And also I can see that I get stuck with the words and opinions. And when I engage with those thoughts, when they come, I lose connection with my peace and freedom. But they do come and I do engage. So if do you have any idea on how to deal with that?
So when you say the ego is not dead yet, this is a thought that arises from the ego itself.
Yeah, I know this, that the ego is a shadow that appears in consciousness. I've recognized this, but still, there is doubt. There is doubt, and there is still there. It's easily triggered. I'm practicing presence most of the day, and I can sense that the complete dissolution isn't doesn't that hasn't happened yet. I mean, I'm still afraid of death. I'm still afraid of some stuff. I still have some sorrows. Not like that they come all the time, but as I abide in presence, they come up. Sometimes I avoid, sometimes I get into them, but still there is stuff inside them. I don't feel that I'm completely free. I know the freedom of the presence, but still I don't feel completely free. I don't feel absolutely free.
Just very, very gently dropping your attention into the body. Just notice how it feels in the body. What is your experience of this moment?
this moment is always peaceful and freedom is here.
Can you feel that aliveness of the energy body, like sensations in the body?
Yeah.
And just noticing if there's anywhere where it feels stronger, or anywhere where there's no feeling of those sensations. So kind of dropping into the body and opening up to that field of aliveness. That's it. What does it feel like?
Certainly peaceful.
Okay.
And
now keep your attention here, just feeling this beautiful peace, allowing your eyes just to rest on my image. And as you feel inside your system, keep feeling these sensations. See if you can sense awareness beyond the body. Feel this expansiveness that is not located even to the physical body. See if you can feel me from inside yourself. What are you experiencing?
yeah.
What do you feel?
Plenty of joy.
So thoughts may come and they're perceived. Sensations in the body are perceived. Sounds, images are perceived. And all of that content which is perceived, those objects in experience, are constantly changing and moving. Right? Is that your experience?
Yeah, totally.
And that which perceives subject, does that change? Does that come and go?
For sure, it is not, and experiencing this kind of presence like in most of the day, let's say.
Just talk
But
about
still, there
right
are
now.
some.
Just talk about your experience of this moment right now. Just looking at what's here right now. That which perceives the thoughts and the sensations, is that changing?
No, it is unchanging for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Can you find any distance or separation between you and that which perceives?
There is no distance and there is no separation, certainly.
Right now, to rest as the perceiver, are there any problems?
There aren't.
And can you feel that anger that you spoke about right now? Is it present here now?
Right now, it's not present. No.
Okay, that's okay. There's no right or wrong. We're just exploring together. So when the anger comes, that which perceives it, does that change in any way?
Certainly not.
So right now there's joy and peace. And sometimes that changes and anger comes. Well, if we have an idea that one experience is the right one and one is the wrong one, then we perceive reality through a filter of duality, where half of the experience is labeled as spiritual and desirable, and half of the experiences are made wrong and rejected, and we feel like if I'm having that experience, then I can't be awakened. That which perceives, does it have any preference whether there is an experience of joy or an experience of anger?
It allows everything to be.
Yeah. So if when the anger comes, it's simply allowed and it's welcomed as a beautiful spiritual teacher that gives us the opportunity to deepen into presence, then it's no longer a problem but a gift. And if it wants to come, it's welcomed. And what that means is that when it comes, we have the willingness to very gently open up to feeling the sensations in the body. Now, anger is one of the more challenging teachers because it comes very fast and it's very intense. And often when anger comes, it comes with a story. And the mind tries to hook us to identify with the story that makes someone else wrong or a situation wrong. If identification happens, we can move into a kind of reactive mode where the anger is projected onto someone else, or sometimes we say or do things that's really not coming from our deeper truth. And if we understand that when the anger comes, it's actually nothing to do with us. It's just some energy in the body. And most of the time, it actually goes back to our early years, our early childhood, when we experienced a certain emotion, in this case anger, and our system didn't fully process it. So it's kind of dormant somewhere. And then every now and again, it gets activated and it wakes up. And that's our opportunity to process that energy by recognizing, oh, the anger is awakened now, so I will just remain intensely present and very gently open to feeling it in the body and see what it feels like in the body. And it might feel like a lot of energy moving, like the heart beating, like the blood boiling, the body might even shake. And if you just stay intensely present, that energy will pass through the system and it will integrate and it will release. Now, often what happens when we experience an intense emotion like that, and our system kind of goes into this automatic state, and we feel that we're not present anymore, identification happens. Afterwards, when things calm down, the spiritual ego starts telling us, oh, you weren't present enough then, you should have been more present. You shouldn't have argued with that person or blamed that person. It starts scolding us. And that's another opportunity just to notice that that's not coming from truth, and not to go into self-blame, because it's not helpful. We just do our best every time. And each time it comes up is a practice to stay present. And knowing this, we can welcome that practice. And just watch the stories that the mind tells, but don't believe anything it says. In the moment, the story feels so real. It feels like it's really perceiving the absolute truth. But the key is not to engage with anything it says, and just to remember to drop the attention into the body and feel the sensation. The mind might say, it's too much, I can't do it. We just notice that interpretation and sit with it.
Since we went till here, I had like a big awakening experience into the presence, and like several months ago, and I was abiding in this presence for days consecutively. You know, I couldn't stop it, and at some point it became terrifying. You know, I couldn't stop the presence. It was like chasing me. It was like killing me, and like it was, oof, fear, and I was like, and you know, every time like I get deep to it, like to try to abide for a long time, this fear, this terror comes. You know, like that. And I know, I understand what we're talking about right now, and the presence of being here, but the more that I abide, the more negative feelings come up, and yeah, sometimes it's terrifying, as I say. Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah, yeah. It's a totally natural part of this process. And it's a good thing that these challenging, deep emotions are coming up, because on this journey, everything has to be met. And that means the core fears, the deepest, darkest fears and energies inside of us. And it's only when there is a willingness to meet everything with such surrender that, okay, I give everything to God. I'm willing to die if that's what it takes, but I will sit here and open to this and feel this. And then we come through the other side and we know that there's something here that cannot die, that's untouched. And that's what the Buddha talked about when he, I don't know his exact words, but he sat under the tree and he said, all the demons came. And in the story, there's the demons are depicted as monsters, pictures of monsters with weapons. I don't remember exactly, but many demons. And he was speaking about this, these deeply repressed emotions that must be processed on the energetic level in order for the true self to radiate through more and more strongly, more brightly. It's like the true self is this channel of light, of unconditional love, and there's energies and fears that act like barriers. And as we meet those energies and sit with it, that higher consciousness that's flooding through our system when we're present begins to dissolve it. And we just stay there and let it dissolve. In the moment, it feels like it's going to be forever like this. But as we just sit and have the willingness to feel it so unconditionally that we say, okay, if this stays forever, then I'm okay with that. Because this is not me, and I'm not choosing this. I am pure awareness. I am pure consciousness. I am that which perceives. And this experience came. So no matter what the mind interprets it as, if the mind says, this is negative, this is horrible, this is terrible, we don't engage with those interpretations. Just feel it and meet it with an attitude of curiosity. Okay, the mind is saying fear is here, but that's a label, and that's a label we've come to fear, that label fear in itself, because we're taught it's a bad thing. But if we take away that word fear, and look, actually, what is happening in the body? What is it? What's this experience that I'm calling fear? Okay, it's sensations. And if I stop trying to get rid of these sensations and I just very gently open to it and feel it and allow it to be here, make friends with it, instead of trying to get rid of it, And just look, where exactly is this energy in the body? What is the quality of these sensations? Let me go closer to it. Let me feel it. Let me totally allow it. Let me totally surrender to this, because life has brought this right now. When we can be truly unconditionally accepting to these energies and have the willingness to fully feel it and surrender it and say, okay, if this stays forever, that's okay. I accept it so unconditionally. Then paradoxically, that's when the system opens in that surrender and we say, yes, yes, be here with me. Then it's free to leave when it's ready. So this teaches us unconditional love, because we learn to unconditionally accept our own inner experience. And when we can unconditionally love our inner experience, then our capacity to unconditionally love outer experiences and other people who are often very difficult increases. So all emotions and all sensations in the body are beautiful spiritual teachers for us. And it's all oriented towards one thing, which is the expansion of your consciousness, that you're deepening into presence and fully merging with that pure consciousness, that pure awareness, which is your true self.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for everything. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're lovely, and your presence, even from online.
You're lovely too.
Thanks a lot.
Hi.
Hi. Lois, it's good to see you. Good to be with you. Listen to a lot of your videos. And my goodness, that wisdom you have. What a gift that is to give to the world. I can see and feel that you're part of the Pleiadian culture. The unconditional love. No, I've listened to your videos pretty deep, and I know you've explained this. Well, how can we do that ourselves? Connecting with whoever, either the Pleiadians, possibly the Arcturians, the Andromedians. I've tried the different things. I put the intent out. But a full connection, no, it hasn't happened. Do you think you can elaborate a little bit on this?
I don't consider myself to be Pleiadian. I don't consider myself to be this form, Louise. What I am is pure awareness, which is beyond any form, beyond any name, label, beyond any character. And that's also what you are. You are an expression, physical, temporary expression of pure consciousness, just like all forms, whether they're human or non-human. And my interest is not in connecting with any forms, any outer experiences, but to connect deeper to the essence of all physical life, which means to know what we truly are. And that's the only thing that brings us a lasting sense of fulfillment, to have a connection with an ET being or an angel or an ascended master. These are beautiful experiences, and maybe they'll bring us an experience of love, joy, excitement. We can learn something, but ultimately it's a temporary experience. And the nature of reality is that when we're seeking experiences on the outside, we get kind of stuck in an endless need for more, whether it's a beer or a piece of chocolate or getting money or finding a partner, or a spiritual experience like experiencing a moment of bliss, and then we want to get that back again. So much more beneficial to turn our attention to that which will never come and go, that unconditional love and sense of completeness and fulfillment that is accessible to us in this present moment. And we don't need the support of any other being, human or non-human, to access this. It exists within each of us, with the willingness to become very present and still, and disidentify from the seeking nature of the mind.
I understand that the seeking, it always seems to be there. We're always seeking that something else that we want.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is the nature of the mind. So not making that wrong, but just recognizing that it's there and watching it. And notice that that which watches the seeker, the seeking, the thoughts, I want to get that, that will be amazing if I get that, that will bring me happiness. That which watches is not seeking actually. It simply perceives that seeking movement. And often when we experience this seeking, it's a way for us to try to escape or avoid an inner experience that can be unpleasant, like a kind of underlying discomfort in our experience of the moment. And I'm not talking about you personally, just in general. Most people, when we first become very present, often it's not an enjoyable experience actually. We feel boredom, we feel agitation, we feel like, oh, this isn't fun. I want something more. And the first step is to have the willingness to meet those feelings that come up, to access what lies beyond that, that lasting peace and fulfillment and love that we think, if we get the experience, will bring us that. So when we experience the agitation or the discomfort or the boredom, usually there's a movement to avoid it by distracting ourselves with thought or some kind of activity, or eating or drinking, or telling a story about what might happen in the future, or remembering something that happened in the past. And everything is there to try to pull our attention from feeling that discomfort. But that discomfort is the gateway to accessing the deeper truth, the essence of our being.
Okay, I know I find myself a lot trying to, I went to my spiritual guru in Toronto there a couple of weeks ago, and it's like I'm trying to get into from the 3rd D to the 5th dimension, trying to escape. It's like trying to get out of here. We look around us, especially on the planet right now, there's so much uncertainty that we look around and we do not like what's going on. Listening to a lot of the things you've said, I can see that what's going on now is supposed to be going on, and it is okay. And with that, it gives me peace. So I thank you for that, Lois. I thank you for a lot of things you've said. And I know that this is my place, planet Earth, this is my home, and I got to stop trying to escape it.
Yeah. 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 Beautiful, beautiful seeing. Often you see, before spiritual awakening happens, most systems are oriented in a way that's focused on escaping the present moment. So we're conditioned that when I get to that point in the future, like when I finish school, then I'll have made it and everything will be okay. But when we finish school, then it's like, okay, when I get my job, then I'll have made it, everything will be okay. No, but then when I get married, then everything will be okay. When I get my first house, and it's like we're oriented to focusing on the future point when finally everything will be okay. And we miss the beauty of what's here right now, and we're just chasing until we jump in the grave. And because our conditioning in our mind became oriented in that way, often that transfers itself totally innocently to the spiritual journey. So then, okay, when everyone else becomes more conscious, when the planet is healed, when all my chakras become aligned, when we have ET contact. And again, it's trying to get to that point in the future when finally it will be okay. And that okayness that we long for is actually only accessible right here and right now when we fully accept this moment exactly as it is, and we let go of needing to change it. You see, this divine intelligence has presented this experience to us right now, and it cannot manifest anything that is not perfect for the moment. It's only our human mind that tells a story about the experience and interprets it as negative, and then we believe that story, that makes us suffer. So without the story that interprets the reality of the moment, there's only what is, and it's neutral. And perceiving happens, and as we drop deeper into the body and just say yes to everything that's here, yes, and thank you for this. Thank you for the breath, breathing in the body. Thank you for food. Thank you for nature. Thank you for the experience of being alive right now. We open to gratitude and peace and contentment. And in doing so, our state of being becomes very calm and gentle naturally. And then that's what we contribute to the collective field through our actions, through our words, just through our being. And so we, without even making any effort, begin to manifest this more conscious reality that you could label 5D or whatever, it doesn't need a label. So it starts with us in this present moment, right now.
Very well said. There isn't anywhere I'd rather be right now in this present moment and sitting here having this chat with you. So I'm enjoying it.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dolores. Lois.
Do you have someone else? Hi, Brian.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just sitting here, and this like fear came up. Just like a fear of death, I think, and I don't really know what it is.
Beautiful. Just very, very gently. Just opening up. Feeling no sensation. Even take away that label fear. And just have a look where it's felt in the body. It's not yours. It's just some energy that's passing through the field right now. Very, very gently. Just looking where it's felt in the body. Gently feeling it. It's not you. You're the space of awareness. It's not touched by the experience. And just watch if the mind brings any interpretation of the experience, that this is bad, that it shouldn't be here. Just watch that and all the thoughts to pass through. And just feel the sensation.
I actually I feel very like identified with the human right now. It's like that's how something responded. Was like, okay, well, go back to the human.
Well, that's okay, just noticing that and letting that part be identified right now. Doesn't have to disidentify. Just noticing it, just watching it. Let it be as identified as it wants to. Just hearing the sounds outside, the sounds of my voice. Feeling the breath in the body. And allowing this fear to get bigger if it wants to. Letting it come. Doesn't have to go away. Nothing wrong with it, it's just energy.
I'm open to experiencing it, but it's actually subsiding right now.
Oh. I'm just watching as it subsides and leaves this field of awareness. When it's ready, no rush. We can stay longer if it wants to.
this might sound strange, but I actually felt attached to it. Like, you know, in spirituality, it's considered to be like a good omen, like fear of death coming up is, you know, the ego being exposed and everything. So I was actually like, I wanted more of it. And then it went away.
And just letting go of all ideas of what a spiritual experience is, or what should happen, or what needs to happen. That's just the mind creating unnecessary content. Whatever experience is here right now is exactly what should be here. It's just that we've learned to divide up experiences with our mind, to segregate and group experiences. So these experiences are spiritual ones and they're good, and these experiences are unspiritual and they're bad. And if I experience that, I haven't got it yet. But if we take away all labels, which create separation and division in our experience, and we rest as the space of pure awareness in which those experiences are passing through, coming and going, coming and going. And that's a field of oneness. There's no separation in anything. And it's beyond those labels and divisions where we discover this peace and stillness. So we just give up expecting or needing or wanting our experience to be any certain way. Whatever comes, okay. I'll experience this right now, or the body will experience this right now. Let that pass through. And it's true, some experiences feel pleasant and some feel unpleasant. What did you want to say?
It's like even the thought narratives, like whatever, you know, if we're identified with a story, do we just let that story run and let it pass through the space of awareness? Or
Yeah, just watch the story, watch the thoughts with curiosity. Just as you watch the sensations with curiosity. Oh, look how the mind is interpreting this. How interesting. And just see how its interpretation creates division and separation.
okay.
It's enough just to watch it, just to see it.
Thank you.
Just see if you can experience just one moment without placing any interpretation onto the reality of this moment. Just to allow the moment to be exactly with it. Just see if it's possible to have any problems when there's no mental interpretation of the inner experience or the outer experience as being right or wrong. And just watch how the mind wants to hold on to its problems. It enjoys having problems. It enjoys creating suffering. It's not necessary. We can experience this moment without that suffering. We're opening up to this deeper presence. Well, I think Melika has a question. Hi. I can't hear you.
Is it better when I'm closer?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I'm struggling a lot with restless legs, and I'm really using this approach a lot when I sit in everything, to just try to allow also all the stuff that doesn't feel good, but it's like at the moment it's like the only thing that I really just can't be with. I feel it's too intense, so I have to move away from it. And I'm not really sure how to, because I really have this will to sit and be with it, and because I feel with other sensations it's like the way through, but yeah, this is just too much. It feels like something I need to fix, but
Okay. So, noticing the mind's story that it's telling, that I need to fix it, I need to get rid of it, it's too much. And just allowing that to be there. It doesn't have to go away or change, but just noticing that that narrative's there. And very, very gently dropping the attention into these sensations in the legs. Gently feeling it. And when it reaches that point that it feels too overwhelming, allow your attention to come out, honoring that. If the body says, no, this is too much now, the body, not the mind. If the mind says it's too much, then it's resistance. But tuning into the body, and if it feels like it really is overwhelming the system and it's too much, take a moment and bring the attention out. And just having a look around the room, maybe look at a plant or a beautiful object, noticing the breath, and just giving the system that moment to have space and breathe and say, okay, I'm safe. It's safe right now. And then very gently going back into the feeling. And very gently, very slowly feeling it. Not pushing anything, just very slowly with it. Opening up to it. Dropping into it. Just getting to know it a little bit. Just curiously inquiring, where is this sensation starting in the legs? Can I find a starting point?
It's very different. It can be in just one leg or both, or in the feet or the knees.
Where do you feel it right now?
I don't feel it right now. I felt it before when I was just listening. So when I move my awareness somewhere else, it often stops. But when I then want to rest or tune in, then it starts again.
Yeah.
And then often in the night. So yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of energy in that area of the body. And sometimes it is too much for the system to process a huge amount of energy all in one go. It's a bit like if you have a bottle of soda and you shake it up and then you take the lid off. There's so much energy in there that it will just explode like and go everywhere. And so it's not necessary when the system is overwhelming with a lot of energy. We can instead just turn the lid a little bit and allow that diffusion to happen, allow a little bit to come out. And then let the system process and integrate and take a rest. And then tune in, and when it feels right, touch at it again, turn it a little bit. And the energy releases in a very slow and gentle way. That's not overwhelming for the system. So, and I have a sense that you are very in tune with your body. So you can listen to your system's natural intelligence and work with it, together with it. And be very gentle with this energy. When the energies are feeling really intense, it can be a little bit like something inside screaming, like ah! And that energy is a little bit like a baby that's screaming. And when a baby's screaming, it's not pleasant. Nobody wants to listen to a screaming baby, especially if it goes on for hours and hours. But if we say to the baby, oh, I don't like you. I don't want you. I just want you to go away. I wish I could just get rid of you. the baby cries more and it screams more. But if we pick up the screaming baby and we just hold it and say, sweetheart, it's okay. I know, it's okay. You can stay here with me. I love you. You can stay here with me as long as you want to. Then the baby system feels like, I'm seen, I'm held, I'm felt. The experience of it shifts. So be very, very gentle with it, like it's a screaming baby. And let it know, I'm here for you. It's okay, you can stay with me. And listen to your system, inner knowing.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, because there is this mind thing of like, I can hold this, I can go through it and just allow to feel it all, but that there's also the other direction of taking it more gentle.
Yeah, for each of us, we need something different. Sometimes it is required to say, okay, I'm just going to meet this and fully surrender with it. And sometimes a more gentle, soft approach is required. And that's why there's not really one right answer for everyone, because every system is different, each energy is different. And it's more about connecting with our own deeper knowing, our own intuition, listening to the body and following that inner guidance, that intuition. So it's not really either or what you said, it's both. It is having the willingness to fully meet this, and you have that willingness and it's beautiful, but not having to do it all at once or in any certain amount of time. You can do it also slowly and very gently.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I just have a question for you. As we do this exercise, the meditation and so forth, I've noticed pangs in my throat, in the throat chakra, and I'm aware that I've had a pretty much a blockage in the throat chakra related to, well, I guess you could say not being able to speak my truth, throughout my lifetime. I've had, shall we say, unique perspectives since early childhood, and a different perspective on things, on everything, from, religion. I was raised with Catholicism and I didn't use it at 10, to the medical field that I practice in now.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I got it. So very, very gently now, just dropping your attention into that throat area. And very gently just feeling those sensations. Gently opening up to it and just noticing how it feels. Maybe it feels uncomfortable, but just allowing that. Saying yes to it. Taking the attention closer and closer to the sensations until you're not just observing it, but you're one with the sensation, feeling it coming in, opening to the core of it. fully surrendering to it. That's it. And just notice if that energy moves or changes in any way. And allow it to move or change if it does. Allow it to get bigger, get smaller. So we're just being with it, very gently. Just notice if the mind brings in any stories, and just watch that. And take your attention back to the feeling.
Just a sense of great sorrow.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. And just opening up to that and letting that sorrow come. Letting it be here. It's just some energy. It's nothing to do with you. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. Very gently feeling that. Letting this energy pass through the body. Just sitting here together, feeling it together. Not even trying to get rid of it, just allowing it to be here. Not waiting for it to go away even. We can be truly unconditionally loving with these energies. We can say to it, okay, you can stay forever. You can stay here with me forever. And then instead of trying to get rid of it and disliking it, making it the enemy, it becomes our friend. And then we can like it, even love it. Without the story that this experience shouldn't be here or this experience should go away. There's only this moment and energies that appear and disappear. Just like sounds appear and disappear. What does it feel like? What are you experiencing?
More of a release of sorrow and some kind of energy passing through it, through the throat chakra. Release of deep sorrow, like
Oh,
mountains.
beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Let it all come. It's all so welcome. Fully opening to this sorrow.
Am I on camera right now?
No, I'm on camera.
Okay.
I can see you, but everyone else sees me.
Okay, thank you. It seems like there's some music that from that time period through childhood that triggers it a little too, which is playing in the background right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Just deep sorrow. And as this releases, will I see incidents in my, relive kind of incidents or something that are related to it? Maybe your body stores trauma, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes as we're feeling the sensations, memories, images reveal themselves. And if that happens, just watch it, watch the memory, watch the image. But we don't need to force it. We don't need to investigate where it's coming from, because all that's required is just to feel and allow the sensations, and that in itself allows for the healing and integration to happen.
Seems like it's connected to the third eye somehow. I don't know, but I'll just stay with it and stop thinking.
Yeah, that's right. Just watch any thoughts, and wherever you feel the sensations in the body, just gently open up. Going into them, inviting any tensions to relax.
Okay, thank you. So I could have decades worth of trauma to release in there, the throat chakra related to being oppressed, my views or, my intuitive insights that set me apart. Maybe it
Yeah.
collect decades. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there could be a lot of energy in there, and every second that you're very gently feeling it and allowing it like this, healing and integration is happening. And also, this is how we heal the past. This is how it releases as the energy releases. So this is the spiritual practice for many of us. As I said earlier, it brings the practice of deepening presence and also opening to unconditional love. So continue just like this. Just meeting it with this beautiful gentleness. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Sarah.
Namaste.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us today. It's really lovely to connect with you all like this and to explore with you. I'm planning to do more of these Zoom meetings, so if you'd like to be notified of upcoming meetings and also group events that I'll be doing around the world once things turn back to normal, you can go to my website, louisekay.net, and you can subscribe to my newsletter there. And it's a good idea to add my email to your contact list so that my emails don't go into your inbox and not your spam. So that's info@louisekay.net. I'm sending you big hugs and lots of love all around the world. Bye-bye.